Well, welcome, welcome. I'm Casey Stober. I'm a second-year medical student, and I'm the one doing the nutrition portion for Don't Wait to Lose. And I've done a lot of research over the past year and a half, and I've done a lot of stuff with Dr. Harlan, speaking with him. So we put a lot of work into this nutrition program, and we really tried to tailor it towards the people of New Orleans. And the other thing that we try to do with the program is really make it interactive. So I want you guys to ask me questions. I want you to interrupt me. I want you to tell me when one of my suggestions doesn't work for you, because we want to make this applicable to your lives. That's the goal. So eating healthy, right? That's what it's all about. But it's not easy. You guys all know that, and that's why you're here. You can't really just wake up one day and say, you know, all right, I'm gonna eat healthy now. I'm gonna just eat healthy. So maybe you say that one day when you're on your way to lunch from work. You're like, all right, I'm going to eat healthy. You're feeling pretty good about yourself. So you're walking down the street. You're like, all right, I'm eating healthy. I'm going to eat healthy. All of a sudden, you smell something. And you're like, oh, man, what's that smell? All right, oh, that's bacon. Oh, man, that place makes the best bacon cheeseburgers. You're like, nah, no, I'm eating healthy. You know, so you keep walking. Keep walking down the street. You're going along. All of a sudden, there's another smell. You're like, what's that? Turn your right. Exactly. It's Popeyes, right? It's Popeyes. So you're turning there, you're like, all right. So if I'm going to eat healthy, I need to have Popeyes one last time. So you go in there and then you say, all right, tomorrow I'm going to start eating healthy. So then tomorrow comes along and you're doing the same thing. You're walking down the street, you go past those places, similar smells. You're like, all right, forget it. I felt really bad after yesterday. I'm not going to eat healthy. So you go into this place that has salads, and you hear they have great salads. So like, all right, I'm going to have a salad. I heard on the radio that salads are vegetables, salads are healthy. So you sit down, you're eating your salad, and little do you know that the salad was made with iceberg lettuce and was served with remoulade dressing, which has tons of fat in it. And so this is what life is like trying to eat healthy in this city and throughout the United States. I mean, you might be, first of all, you're fighting these intense urges, and then once you go down and make that choice, you think you're eating something healthy, in reality it's not. So our goal is to help clear that up so you can make the right choices and you don't run into those situations anymore. So it's hard to eat healthy, right? I mean, it's easy to go to Popeyes or McDonald's for lunch. It's quick, it's cheap, you know, it's simple. So that's why we all do it. It's easy to use bacon, butter, or animal fat to flavor our foods. That's kind of like the crutch we lean on in the kitchen. I mean, one of my favorite things that my family makes at Thanksgiving is a dish with Brussels sprouts, and every time at Thanksgiving it was like, oh man, these are the best Brussels sprouts. How'd you make them? Well, they cooked them with bacon. I mean, it's easy. You put bacon in anything, it's delicious. I mean, it's simple. So that's something that we really lean on in the kitchen, and I'm trying to get you guys to go away from that, or minimize it as much as possible. So, and those cravings that we have for those snack foods and junk foods, they're very strong, and it's easy to listen to them. And so here are the things that we heard from a lot of different participants when we first started out the program. And they would say, I don't want to eat healthy because it's too expensive. I can't eat healthy, all that food is way too expensive. I go to Whole Foods, I end up spending $8 on a tomato, you know, forget that. And so we've taken that into consideration, and we try to give you advice that's not going to break your bank, so that you can eat healthy and not have to spend all that money on it. However, I do want you guys to take in consideration that it's worth it to spend money on your body. We're very quick to, you know, when your kid gets sick, you'll go and get medicine as quick as you can. You'll leave work early. If your mother gets sick, you'll go buy her lunch. You'll spend money on other people, but you won't spend money on yourself. So think about taking care of your body. So spend that extra money on fish. Spend that extra money on fresh produce. Those are things that we're going to ask you to try to do. However, we're cognizant of the fact that these aren't the best economic times, and money's tight for all of us. So we're going to try to give you solutions, you know, again, that aren't going to break the bank. Another thing we hear a lot is, oh, healthy food tastes bad. If your wife or husband tells you they're going to cook something healthy, the first thing that comes to your mind is, oh man, healthy? That's not going to taste good. But again, we're trying to just slightly modify recipes so that they maintain some of that flavor and they have an improved overall nutritional content. Because again, we're cognizant of the fact that you're not going to eat food if it doesn't taste good. And frankly, what is it worth living a life where you eat food that doesn't taste good? I mean, that's a huge part of life. So we want to help you, you know, cook healthy meals that still taste good. And here's another thing that we hear is, you know, it takes time to eat healthy. I got to sit down and prepare I got to prepare whole grains. Those take a lot longer to cook. I got to cook an entire meal for my family. Takes a lot more time than going out and getting fast food, right? And again, we're aware of that, and we're trying to give you solutions. We're going to give you practical solutions to help you save time in the kitchen and yet still cook healthy meals. And another thing, and this is probably, you know, the meat and potatoes of the program, is just sorting through all the confusion. I mean, you hear on the radio, one day you hear, oh, you know, alcohol's bad for you. Don't drink alcohol, you know, it's bad for your liver, it'll give you cancer, all that stuff. And that's definitely true. But then the next day you turn on the radio and it says, cardiologists are recommending 1 drink a day of alcohol will benefit your heart. And you're like, wait a second, I hear 2 different things on 2 different days. And I mean, that's just one example. You hear tons of things like that. There's all these different types of sugar, all these different types of salts, and you can't sort through which one's better. And so we're going to help you do that. And again, this is where being interactive comes in. Because if you hear something on the radio, read something in the Times-Picayune or whatever that's confusing, I want you to ask me, because there's a chance that someone else in the audience in the program is going to have a similar question. So we want to sort through that confusion and make it so that you know the clear path, you know the right diet for yourself, and you're able to successfully make good decisions when it comes to eating healthy. And one of the key skills that we want to give you is reading labels, and we're going to start with that next week. And with that, you're going to have the ability to go into the supermarket and look at something on the shelf, a product that you've never heard before, and choose between 2 different brands and see which one's healthier for you. And if you have that skill, I feel like you're going to be able to make healthier decisions in the supermarket consistently, rather than just memorizing, you know, which foods are healthier for you, because it's difficult to just memorize a list of healthy items. This way you can make the decisions yourself and eat some of the same foods that you already eat as well. So for now, what I want you to do is use the pantry checklist at the supermarket. Jock alluded to this a little bit when he was speaking earlier. And the pantry checklist is something that we give you as kind of a foundation for your healthy diet and your healthy cooking in your home. And so what it is a list of non-perishable items that you can either keep in your freezer, and most of them in your pantry. That way you'll have a stockpile of healthy items that you can use to build healthy meals day in and day out, so that you're not going to have to constantly go to the store to make sure you have healthy items. Because if you don't have healthy things in your house, you're not going to eat healthy. There's also a handout in there that explains the basic components of the diet that we're trying to promote. It's kind of in bullet points. In the program manual that you're going to get next week, there's a full write-up on the diet. And we're going to keep reinforcing these concepts, but this is just so that you have a first exposure to it and kind of have, just to start thinking about the different areas of your diet that you need to change and how you're going to make those changes. So next time, like I said, we're going to talk about how to read a food label. If you can, try to see about reading labels in the supermarket when you go shopping. Try to read the labels and see where you're having confusion so that you can ask me questions next time. Check out drgourmet.com. That's Dr. Harlan's website. It's a wonderful website. We're going to talk about it more in detail, but it's a completely free website and has some great nutrition information. A lot of it's tailored towards Southern cooking and New Orleans style cooking. It's just a lot of great interactive information, so I encourage you to check out that website. And here's my email address. It's kstober@tulane.edu. It's also on the handout. Please email me with any personal questions. I'd be happy to answer them. And if I don't have the answer right then, I have access to tons of medical journals. Any medical journal you can think of, I have access to Dr. Harlan. So if I don't know the answer, I can find them.